The amount of social media outlets that we have at our disposal is incredible. And to have a good advisor, in this space is also sometimes suggesting you something that is against their own services. And if you don't need ads, Facebook ads specifically, I will tell you that you don't need them because your audience is on LinkedIn, and then I can connect you with a LinkedIn expert. But it's always to be that protective of what I think is the best for them, even if that means saying no to me or to what I'm offering out there, is very important to do as a business owner. Hello, my lovely internet friends. I hope you all doing wonderfully. Today we're gonna talk about a topic that's like super important to me. And it's going to be about whether or not you want what's best for your client or you want what's best for you. Now, I know that most of you are in service-based industry, you are consulting, you're coaching, you're selling a product, something online, or you have essentially most of you are trying to sell stuff online. But essentially, what I want to ask you is that whether or not you care about providing what's best for your clientele and what's best for your client. A lot of the times, story time, a lot of the times, clients approach me or prospective clients approach me and asking me about, Facebook ads. Like, can I do Facebook ads for them? And I a lot of the times I say no, and is very simply because I realized just by talking to them that uh, Facebook ads might not be the best approach for their business, okay? Or that with what they are trying to sell, for example, organic marketing would work wonderfully because organic marketing also have that very strong, local built trust factor that perhaps a Facebook ad cannot convey. Facebook ads are much less personal, than someone doing organic marketing and genuinely being out there, creating value to their immediate audiences than Facebook ads that are a bit more for everyone. And you can either take something away from them or not. I think, especially if you look at groups, for example, it has that familiar feeling of belonging to a community that is something that a Facebook ad, for example, can never ever beat, right? Because that impersonal ad that you see, it's gonna be really hard to create that type of local community type of feeling. So a lot of the times I get approached by clients with a certain request, thinking that they want to work with me because they think that would solve their issues if we do the ads for them. But I want to remind you that it's not always Facebook where your audience is staying. A lot of the times it's, if especially if it's like a more professional setting. I don't know why I'm stuttering, guys. Especially if you're talking about more of a professional setting that you're trying to go to business owners to sell them something, then you would be looking at LinkedIn or Twitter, or it depends on your market. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's Reels. There's so many, or YouTube. YouTube is all there for that relationship building. But all I'm saying is that the amount of social media outlets that we have at our disposal is incredible. And to have a good advisor, in this space is also sometimes suggesting you something that is against their own services. And if you don't need ads, Facebook ads specifically, I will tell you that you don't need them because your audience is on LinkedIn, and then I can connect you with a LinkedIn expert. But it's always to be that protective of what I think is the best for them, even if that means saying no to me or to what I'm offering out there, is very important to do as a business owner. So I want to ask you whether or not you are approaching all of the situations like with that in mind, that this might be the solution for them or this might not be the solution for them. And do you actually go out of your way to figure out or help figure out what's the best for them at this specific moment? Okay, can you say no to someone who's signing up or want to sign up for your services just by, you know, giving the audit or suggesting what's best for them, or understanding that this is right now that doesn't make sense for you, but you know what does? This, I think that does, and I can connect you with that person. If you approach your business, by the way, with this mindset of being the most trusted advisor for your client, and this is something I have not invented, guys. This is something that was taught by Jay Abraham. And I think if you are in the marketing space where you look out for your clients and think, okay, what's the best for you is this, and you approach everything with that mindset of what's the best for you is this. And I'm not here to sell you my services, but especially if it doesn't make sense for you, I'm not going to do that. If you approach all of your clientele with that mindset, now you are 90% ahead of all your competition, because not many, you know, advisors, marketers, consultants are going to advise against their own service. Not many will try to genuinely help you. And if you find those people that they do, it's actually creating that intense trust between you and your prospective clients or even existing client. I did have occasions where um, for a client specifically, we signed for 2 months, and after the first month, I said, you know what? I think we should stop here, and we should, you know, evaluate, and perhaps when you have more budget, then we can come back to this. But you know, and when she said, yeah, but you know, I kind of want to continue working together. I trust you even more just because you said that right now that might not be the best, you know, solution for me. So just by looking out for your clients, I canceled campaigns 2 weeks in, guys. We had a contract for a month. I canceled them 2 weeks in because it didn't bring the clientele the kind of result we were expecting. So I'm not going to go full term if something is just not working at this point. So it's all about whether or not I look out for my clients. And a lot of people, and I don't want to name anyone, but a lot of people go into that with a mindset of how I'm gonna sell this thing. Okay, that's what I do, and so I'm gonna create all these narratives around the fact that you need this. You know, a lot of people does this. It's a sales tactic, like, you know, installing beliefs that, you know, it's faster for you to do ads, you know, so people can find you. That's true. Like, I can tell you, like, all the narratives that people are constantly creating so that they sell their businesses. Like, I can give you like the most extreme narratives of like, well, you the reason why you're not successful is because you have some whatever karma work to do, and so I can do that for you so you can be like, everyone has their own belief systems, and everyone has their own what they think is the best so that you can buy into their programs. It's mostly that's the outcome here, is to get you there. But having that integrity and having that ethical approach to business of what makes sense for you is going to, if you can do that, if you can nail that, if you can hone in on like, okay, you know what, that doesn't make sense for you, and I'm going to tell you flat out if that doesn't make sense for you, because it's much better for me to suggest you something that is in your interest than trying to sell you my services. And guys, if you understand this, if you approach your business this way, that when you are in front of someone who comes to you with a problem, and even you're trying to assess it to best of your abilities, you see that this is not in my expertise at this point, but I know ABCD that is actually a better match for you. And I'm going to make sure that I monitor the process, make sure you're happy, but I'm going to send it over to them, is so valuable nowadays. It's so rare and it's so valuable that if you just apply all of those things and this having this mindset of being the trusted advisor of your own clients, of not letting them to invest when they shouldn't, of on the contrary, telling them this is time to invest right now, is not letting them buy more than they should, do more than they should, like get sign up to things that they shouldn't, right? All of the things, if you have that best interest for your clients, then I'm telling you that you're gonna be ahead of your competition. And that is why, you know, there's literally no one else that your clients will pick besides you. Okay. So how can I assess, and that's what you're doing essentially when you're going on a sales call with anyone, is how can I assess my client current situation to the best of my ability so that I can tell what's the best for them, even if that means that's not signing up for me or with me or my services, but someone else that I know that I can trust or suggest them. If that's how you go into every single sales call, and that's also takes some honesty, because then sometimes you have to be honest with yourself, like, okay, where is my most optimal expertise lie, like how can I help them with what I know, but how can I also see my own limits as a coach or consultant? How can I see that this is where my limits are at this point, and this is how far I can take you, but what you need is here, and I can take you here. And so because of that, I'm gonna get someone who can take you here in me, so you don't have to go up those stairs, right? So I mean, you would go, but you know what I'm saying, okay? So essentially, master this one thing, have that mindset, come in, embody that, really, that, like, how can I help them with the best of my abilities? How can I be honest with them with where their clientele is, and have that approach from the get-go, okay? You're not trying to sell anything to anyone, and it's very rare to me that I have to hard sell anyone, because of my intentions of going into a call, because of the ability of knowing when to push and when to come back to from those, like, if you think that something is genuinely in their best interest, have that, stand in your ground and say, okay, I think that's even though it's outside of your comfort zone, I think that would be the best for you. And if you can trust me to guide you through that, then I can, you can get you where you want to go. Okay. So even that is it takes that honesty with yourself. Like, okay, I need to push. And it's so funny because every of my clients, I have a different persona that I bring in. Some of them need tough love. Some of them need more nurturing. Some of them need me to be, more assertive. Like, there are so many aspects of yourself that you need to bring in with a specific type of people so that you can optimally work with them. That it's just it requires that skill to see that, but first you have to see them for who they are and what they really really need at this point, and channel that in and really try to help them at there where they are. Okay, so I really want you to forget about selling, forget about how I'm going to close this, and the scripts, and what I'm going to say exactly so that closing happens, and like all the tactics, and like, of course, you can, if you have no idea what you're doing, you can try those, but honestly I never ever ever use them to close anyone. And and from where I come from, as long as I'm genuinely trying to help them to the best of my abilities, and I suggest them what makes sense for their business, even if that is going against me, that's where it's instantaneous for them to come trust and work with me, because they know that I look out for them. Okay. So be protective of your clients. Be the trusted advisor that they need. And I'm telling you that we will never have shortage of clientele. You have never have shortage of people coming to you for help, because they can tell you that you're genuine and you're trying to help them, essentially. Okay. So that's it for today. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And again, if you need help with, if you think you need ads for your business, or if you need, if you think you need whatever strategy workshops or whatever you want to do online, come to me first, drop me a message, and we'll talk about what I think you need instead. I will tell you bluntly, honestly, and I'll help you, redirect you to someone if I cannot help you personally. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.